Aloha Beautiful Soul, and welcome to my channel, Intuitive Exploration. I'm Lynn Pearce, and today we're going to talk about noticing the pattern. So, for me, I like to notice patterns that happen in my life. And when I first started learning this, it was when I was doing hypnotherapy, and they taught us to really look at the patterns of the relationships of the people that we're attracting into our lives, and there's a connection between that and your childhood. Because when you're a kid, it's like you're being subconsciously programmed of how life is supposed to work because you're watching people, you're watching your family, you're watching people at school, the news, and you're taking in all this information and accepting or denying it. But as a kid, a lot of it's accepting it because what we think we see with adults, that we think that that's the way things should be or not be. And so the type of partner that I was attracting into my life for a very long time, up until my recent marriage, was attracting a man that would cheat on me. And when I tie that to my childhood, it makes sense because my dad cheated on my mom for a very long time. And unfortunately, I kept having these experiences, but for me, I didn't leave them. It would always be them leaving me, which also tied back into my childhood because after that, my dad left my mom, and my mom had to raise 6 kids. So when I look at that connection, at that point of my last major relationship before me diving into all of the work that I do now with hypnotherapy, energy healing, and I was like, I don't want to attract these type of men in my life anymore. So I took the time, I dedicated myself to learning all these things, to healing my childhood trauma, to healing past relationships. And I was single for 2 years, just being dedicated to my work. And then I started seeing signs of like, hey, Laura, you should start opening up your heart again because there's someone you want to bring in. And if your heart's closed and they can't come in. And so I would get signs from different people and messages from other intuitive readers and healers. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll be open. And lo and behold, I met my amazing husband now. And when I met him, I could already tell that he was different than every other person that I had been with before. And that's how I knew that I attracted someone different. I interrupted the pattern that I was playing in my life. But first, in order to interrupt the pattern, you must know what that pattern is. And to know what that pattern is, you have to notice the pattern that's happening in your life. And this works for other things aside from relationships, but this is one of the first things I did in my life. So this is why it's the example I'm giving you now. But for you, if you really want to dive into the type of people that you're attracting, really look at the patterns of the partners that you've had and see if that connects into your childhood. And then you can connect that and be like, oh, you know what? I don't want to attract that anymore. And then first is having the awareness that you want to change something. Second is deciding that you want it to change. And then third is to move in that direction of the change. And so for me, it was a journey of healing, releasing, loving, forgiving. And now I have an amazing relationship. So that's all I have to say today about noticing the patterns in your life. And if you have any questions or if you want to really talk about your patterns that you're noticing in your life, go ahead and subscribe and write that in the comments below. I'd love to read it. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Lots of love to you. Bye.